girlfriends.
G'day viewers. Welcome to another super cool repair video from the Goat Shed. Located in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. Now today we're in my shed with my pinball collection, and we've just come round to do a little bit of winter maintenance on them. Those of you that follow us would recall that earlier this year we did a playfield swap on Tropic Isle. There it is there. So there's just a few little things we want to attend to on Tropic Isle that we're not quite happy with, and we've had a few broken rubbers on some of the games, which I guess I've got to get round to changing a lot of the rubbers. And one of those rubbers was on Pinball. It was the rubber in the centre here that broke, this one here. So I fixed that up, and I've got to change all the other rubbers on it. I must admit I've never done it since I owned Pinball. Haven't had a lot to do with it. And with Pinball, you know, the balls that come down in the back there, there's one or two that aren't right. They're not cheap. They're about $30 each. But when I go over to America in October, we'll be going to the Pinball Resource, and I will buy those and save the freight. There's a little workbench I've got there. Don't use it much, the drill press. I bought that second hand off a friend's father's estate. Just got a couple of little signs up there. There's our appreciation signs from Expo 2022. EM Pinball troubleshooting tips in the top left, and fireside chat with a goat shed just above the lamp there. And of course there's one of our famous goat shed signs. And that clock, that's stopped, but that's a map of Australia with some Australian native kookaburra on it and a couple of other of our native fauna. Here's Apollo. Had this for years. Never had a lot to it. Really bad around the back box. We often said we'd paint that, but the rest of it's, you know, it's all right. Doesn't matter, you only play them. Here's the William soccer we did up a couple of years ago. That was all painted. Graham hand done that stencil, which was really good. Painted the legs. And there's William's Full House, another one we done up a while ago. I bought that in America for about $320 from the guy that was in, I think he was in Maryland.
Didn't look like that much.
Yeah, it didn't look like that. So that's come up, and I'm looking into getting a new back glass for that because it's really crappy around Game Over up here. See that? And down around the score reels and the lady's face, the girl's legs.
Ooh.
And just down here in this general area where the match lights are. And that was a sign a friend made up, Kim's Pinball Parlour. That's really good. And here's the proper wooden sign. Here's the proper metal sign over here that my kids bought me for Christmas one year. That's metal, and it's pressed out somehow. It's pretty good. Okay, we've just got to drag a couple of machines out of the road to get to Tropic Isle. We'll do that now, and we'll show you what else we're up to. Oh, all right, here's the inside of Tropic Isle. So here's underneath the playfield. I left those little dots on there, the green, yellow and orangey red one. They were on there because this was a new old stock playfield. One of the big problems we had with this was that the holes where the rods go through weren't there. I never noticed it when I bought it.
Oh, that's right, I drilled them out,
We had to drill them out, and when we had a little bit of trouble with the pop bumpers, I started to think, oh gee, we've got a problem. But look, they're free as they work fine. Now what the problem seemed to be, it's a little hard to get at this machine, so that's why we need a tourist to come in here and do a bit of moving.
Yeah.
This end of stroke switch here that Graham's operating was out of adjustment.
Yeah, it was out here.
Yeah, it wasn't right. And the end of stroke switch on the other side. So this is a purple pop and this is a green pop. And they're diagonal. So purple and green across that way weren't quite
Yeah, that has got a little bit of resistance, this one.
Okay, so Graham's just having a little feel of this one here.
And this spoon switch wasn't real good either. I had to adjust that.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we had this spoon switch. I'll just
When you moved it,
I'll just zoom in on that. Here you go, Graham. I got it now.
it's still a little bit. Like I still got to adjust it. See how that skirt's moving a smidgen? It really shouldn't be moving at all. So it's got too much pressure on the spoon switch. It should be just touching and no more.
Oh, rightio. Okay, well, we just need to attend to that. So you'll adjust that.
We've had a quick look at the relays, each individual one for the colours, and they seem a bit tight. We might have to.
These are your relays here.
Yeah. This one here was sticking a little bit of it. I don't think it's giving us the trouble. So.
Well, we're going to have a little test of it now.
Yeah.
And people, what I forgot to mention, today is Wednesday, the 12th of June. Now, wow. 3 more days, well, halfway through June, 30 days of September, April, June and November. Here in Australia, it's the end of the financial year on the 30th of June. If you own a business, you have to do stock take, or you don't have to, but it's a good idea to do. And it's just amazing how time gets away. And
Unfortunately, Spanky didn't want to come over.
yeah, Spanky didn't want to come. He said it was too cold.
And plus, he just cracked open a carton of beer.
Yeah, it's about 15 degrees Celsius, which isn't, too cold today.
No, actually, it's a nice day compared to what it has been.
I'd put new coils in this prior to changing because they were both a bit grotty. Yeah. But just remember, that was only for cosmetic looks, because I've got new links. Tropic Isle is my pride of joy.
And also the 5-point relay was acting a bit erratic.
Oh yeah, and we found that these are the roll under switches, those 3 switches there.
There's one there, there's another one over there.
Yeah, no, there it is there.
Oh yeah, it is.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this one here was pretty well touching all the time, so hopefully that was the problem.
Oh, okay. And this bank here, this really small bank, this is the trip for the targets. The 4 targets that you've got to get down.
These ones here.
Yeah, these fellas here. Yeah. Because remember, Tropic Isle has a carryover feature in it with the monkeys. We'll show you that in just a minute.
And you don't have to get them in order, do you, Kim?
No, just all of them out.
Yep.
Well, once you get all of them out, you advance Mr. Monkey to the top, up 1 level of the tree. I think there's 14 steps. There's a stepper in the back for the monkey. And that's this step unit here. That steps the monkey up the tree. So if I manually advance this, it's called the advance unit. If I manually advance that, it's actually stepping Mr. Monkey up the tree. So there we go. And that's the match or 0 to 9 unit. There's your rat trap score rails. They're good. You get a lot of trouble sometimes, viewers, on these where this wire here, and you can see there's a new solder mark on that one. That's the common link for the match, and that often falls off, and it did on this one a long time ago, and you won't get a match. We've discussed matching many times in other videos. The only other thing to look at here, on the score motor, you'll see a lot of new solder joints as well, particularly on around stack 1 here. We had to do a fair bit of work on this. The motor wouldn't run properly, and there was a couple of wires fell off, and there's a link. I haven't got me pointy spring hook, but there's a link down here. Oh, just down there, it fell off. Makes it hard to work out. This has got the motor switch position chart in there, which is really good. And remember, Tropic Isle is from 1962.
Good year, 62.
Oh yeah, that was the year Graham was born.
Yeah.
So I was playing Tropic Isle in about 63, and he was about 1 year old. It just goes to show how old we all are, doesn't it? And look, I've still got my hair, but he hasn't. There. Okay, let's test this. Just for all you people from the USA, here's my collection of number plates. I've pretty well got one from every state I've been. So I've been to New York, Pennsylvania and Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, and that apportioned one. I've been to Nevada, I've been to California. Obviously, you land there. I have been to Arizona, albeit just a foot over at the Hoover Dam. There's another one from Arizona. I have been to Indiana. I think we passed through a place called Gary, Indiana. Here's one I think my good friend Ryan Stroh gave me last time I was over. I have not been to North Carolina nor to Virginia, but I hope to get there. Someone gave me those plates. So there's a collection of plates. Now, on further testing, we noticed that this switch, playfield switch, well, the 1 point was tended to be locking on. Now, let me show you what the trouble is. I'm just going to get in here. The switch is hitting, see that? The
little blade.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is that it's doing a dead short.
So, yeah, we're getting...
So it's not hitting the Bakelite, it's hitting the actual rod going through the Bakelite.
Yeah, this.
It's hitting the circlip.
The circlip is hitting the switch.
And that's going straight through this frame.
Now, bear in mind, this is a new playfield, so that means probably that screw hole on that switch is out a little bit. So we're just going to have to fix that up.
So what we'll do, we'll take these two screws out and move it up probably 1/4 of an inch maybe.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Because it's got plenty of length on the long blade.
Yeah. Now, the other thing we found a couple of things. The playfield's not up in the air at the moment, but the two right-hand relays there.
These two.
We found the wire was not soldered on very well, and it broke away. So
as soon as we looked at it, it broke away.
We've fixed that up.
And the pads for the actual coils for the bumpers were so far apart that they barely touched when the stroke was completed.
So that was another little thing.
And so we cleaned and adjusted on both relays, and it's made the bumpers go a hell of a lot better.
Yep. Okay, so now we've just got to attend to this other problem. Okay, so there was the offending party, that clip on the end of that post for the bumper. So we've resolved that. We had to drill another hole. So that was obviously, that switch stack holes were positioned incorrectly. Okay, now while we got this up, these early 60s games have a ball trough and they hold 5 balls.
Yeah, all the push-up balls haven't.
They did, right up till, I think, was it Crosstown, the last one or something?
So now, basically what you've got to do, if you want to work on the playfield up, you don't want the balls coming out here, falling all over it. So you just got to push that in, the balls will drop down here, and Kim can move over there a little bit.
Okay, and what he's going to do...
So what happens is, when you put it down, that hits the actual bit of timber here, on the top of the banana.
Oh, you can't see that, Graham, but
anyway, so
to get them out, what you do, just operate that, show them.
that's the one.
There's just a little, do it again because I haven't got it in shot. Now I've got it in shot. Okay, do it now. Show them. Don't bother putting the balls back in. Just
put one in.
You rest that, and out they come. You just got to catch them all.
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of people may or may not have known how to do that.
If you never worked on a push-up ball before.
All right, so the monkey is now one below the other two monkeys. So what that's going to mean is when we get A, B, C, D out again, we're going to get the 3 replays. So watch the credit meter.
And they reset.
And the monkeys are now all back down the bottom of the tree. How cool is that? So that's a carryover feature from game to game. It doesn't reset. And like when I first started playing Tropic Isle in 1963, we used to go to the swimming pool, the local swimming pool in our park. And we'd always call in to see where the monkeys were up to. And you were always happy to see maybe the second monkey maybe was up about here somewhere. And maybe by the time you came back, he was up here. And that way, 1 monkey up the tree, 1 game, 2, and 3 games. Yeah. So...
Gottlieb didn't do it on many machines. The ones who did do it the most was Bally. Bally was a big thing for holdover features from game to game, especially in the game name, especially like games like Dixieland. You get out a feature which took a fair bit. It wasn't easy, and you get 1 letter out in each on the game name. And when you got to the end of it, it could be adjusted 2, 3, 5 games. Another one was a Williams machine called 7 Up. That was a classic, and I think Alpine Club had the same thing. where you get the actual, instead of going up somewhere, you get the skier down the mountain, and it will you have to get out individual lanes and roll over buttons. Very clever.
And 7 Up was from the last game in December '69.
Yeah. I owned one for many years. It was a great game. I wish I never got rid of
Yeah, I wish you still had it. It was a good game. Yeah. Okay, people. So that's just a little bit of what we were doing today. Just a fairly short video on some repairs that we really didn't notice that we missed out on. Because I haven't played this an awful lot since we put the playfield in, but now happy to have it all going again. Happy to give you a little look at my shed. Yeah. So thanks very much for watching, and this has been another Goat Shed presentation.